live now for real.
No, seriously, now we're live.
Stop talking.
Quick. Now we're gonna talk about boring things now.
Stop talking, everyone.
We're not gonna talk about fidget devices or drinking on the job or drinking. Yeah.
Wait a minute. All those could be good for tonight's topic.
All of those were things we talked about prior to going on the air.
Yes, exactly. And we'll be hitting those topics. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. It is Monday night. It is DJNTV live night. If you are watching us on Facebook, hey, we figured out how to do both once again. Yay. Computers suck. Or if you're watching us on YouTube Live, thank you for joining us. The chat we're going to be following mostly is on YouTube. So if you're out there in the world and you want to be in that chat where it is very active, because we have got the one and only Jimmy Spin in there tonight telling us all about his happy meds. Yay.
It's not sharing. He's just telling us
about his happy meds. And then he gets graphic and tells us why he has a happy meds and where it is and then what's going on. And then it's just not pretty anymore.
Okay, if you hear a noise for a second, give me a second because I want to show a very, very short clip that I found this week, but I have to mute it first so we don't get busted for the noise. But it's on Facebook, so I have to press play and then hit the mute button.
Okay.
All right, hold on.
This is
Where's the mute button? Okay. The title of this video is Real DJ Spin.
Ooh.
So let me go back here and I can't get it to somebody. Oh, there, resume play. How do I get that to stop?
Yeah, sometimes Facebook.
You push that button, the one right there.
Videos.
No, the one to the right.
Okay, hold on. Now I
was
can
over in
do
the
it.
corner.
No,
I'm just
hold
glad
on.
to be here.
All right, so now I've got to figure out how to share this without the mute button coming back up here. So, and I thought this was the funniest thing. The key here is to watch the DJ. Watch the DJ on the left.
Is this Dan's video again? You remember the last time we showed one of Dan's videos?
No.
Hands
Watch
off,
the
dance off is not a good routine, Dan.
I'm just glad to be here. That's all. I keep saying that.
Watch the guy on the left. Like I said, the video was titled "Real DJ Spin." Okay.
Is this like the left shark type of thing?
Watch the guy on the left. He's got his little spinner.
He's got a little fidget.
He's got his little fidget spinner. Real DJ Spin. I thought that was hilarious. It made it all over. Yeah, it's 75,000 hits or 73,000. He's got his little fidget spinner. So none of you thought that was funny?
Not really. And it's
oh my gosh.
It's kind of a weird thing because the kids came home from school and the teachers are talking about the fidget things in school because it's supposed to help kids with attention deficit disorder.
It's anything.
And it's like, I can't see that working.
There's
a fidget cube.
There's the cube.
It's my fidget cube. And the other one I have, which I got to find where it's at, is this. I've had this since I was probably in college. And they're...
Want to know what my old school fidget spinner was?
Twirling a pencil. Yes.
I have that too. That was always one. And in corporate America, I always used to get yelled at for that.
That's my fidget spinner, people. Old school and ghetto style, but it still works.
And if you piss her off, she's gonna stick you, man. Sharpen that pencil up and take care of business. That you'll do.
It's
business.
not sharpened.
No, that sucked. Sorry, MJ. No, it didn't, Jimmy. You just don't understand the younger generation, Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy, you're old and crotchety. Go pass a stone.
See, MJ, you think it's funny because you don't have to deal with the repercussions of what's going on with them.
No, I just thought it was funny that they titled it "Real DJ Spin." So I'm expecting some dude to be thrown down on the turntables, and it's just some dude turns around with a spinner in his hand. I'm like, that's funny because he's not spinning. That's why I thought it was funny.
How do you know that isn't a new Bluetooth controller device that he has got it and he can go and he can just go wiki with that?
I bet you someone's going to have that.
So wiki.
I did.
I'd rather hear.
I'm just glad to be here.
I bet you Megaseg could be controlled with that device.
I was just going to say, as much as I hate the wiki, it's better than Megaseg. Yes, David.
Question, do we only have to drink when John says it, or do we have to drink when anybody says it?
I don't know. We used to just do it when John said it, but I'm confused now.
You've got everyone else in it. So
yes, I agree with.
I'll take one for the homies that aren't here.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with David. That does not make him a disc jockey. So yeah, that's good.
Nice.
But like I said, I thought the video was funny. You see the crowd going crazy, and it's just, what? Get out of the booth, loser. All right, so tonight, Jimmy Not Funny.
Oh, they're
Ditto. I'm with Jimmy Not Funny MJ. So you guys are the people who are saying.
Can we?
No,
I'm cutting that. Can I make an executive decision and just move on, please? No,
the people who are saying that probably aren't DJs. Why they don't think it's funny.
Him.
Oh,
I forgot the button.
Okay. All right, tonight's topic is, and it could have something to do with that. It can have something to do with the alcohol that we keep talking about. It could be talking about the prescriptions that Jimmy talks about. Tonight's topic could involve all of that because it's about long-term DJing and keeping fresh and happy and positive doing what we do. Now, tonight we are not. The topic of burning out does not have to do with you spending more time with your kids or you doing something else. It's about the mentality of you doing the job as a DJ, keeping it fresh, enjoying it, and keeping sharp in the business and not being repetitive and getting caught in a rut. And that's what tonight's about, is how to just not get burnt out.
I wish you would have told me that before, man. You took half my ideas away.
Man, all the prep he was doing today, he was studying. He was jotting notes down. He was interviewing people on the street. He was like USA Today. Hey, you 5 people, come here, answer this question. Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about how can we start this. I put together a list that I sent to everybody, and it's from an article that I wrote several years ago, and I think John ran it once in the Disc Jockey News, and he can run it again if he wants, or I'll put it up after the show or something. But it's about just finding inspiration in everything. And that's what I kind of want to talk about tonight, is that a lot of times, and you can even talk to most wedding DJs, and they'll say the same things. Well, we play pretty much the same songs wedding after wedding, give or take. Yeah. So how do you keep something fresh that requires you not to be fresh all the time? And that's part of looking at this, is how can you make that fresh that you're not. Now, one of the things that I put on here, and it's something I learned from the days of when I used to write music and stuff and produce, was fresh ears was always the thing that I wrote on the thing, was get fresh ears. And for me, making the music meant that I would leave the room, then come back in 10, 20, 30 minutes later and listen to what I had just worked on, or listen to something else and come back to listen to what I had worked on. But the two things that I want to put upon fresh ears for what we're talking about, the DJ side of thing, is listening to music that you don't normally listen to. Now, we know in the weddings you have to, like you said, play a lot of the same songs. But what do you do in that sense? How do you feel, in your opinions? I have my opinions. Just listening to music that you don't normally listen to help you to stay fresh. I'm not saying not up on things. That's the whole idea, is the mentally fresh about what you do as a wedding DJ or whatever. Listening to music you don't normally listen to. Your thoughts?
In the wedding realm, I get to the point, goodness, quite a few years ago, where you get to the point where you're kind of burned out on a whole wedding thing, because I was doing, I think, about 25 to 30 of those throughout the year. Listening to music in general really got to the point where I didn't like it anymore, because I knew there were songs in my wedding realm that these are my money songs and these are what I make my money off, and I knew that, okay, I can go expand and listen to different types of music, what have you, but I know that 99.9% of those songs I'm listening to aren't songs that are going to make me money. And listening to music at that time really got to the point where it was more of a frustration and I almost want to say there was a level of me getting angry with listening to music. And I know Lori, who
very common. It's very common.
Who enjoys listening to music at all times. She just was like, "You're a DJ." It's like, yeah, but I know the ones I need, and I will listen to, scan the top 20 as on a regular basis, but just to go and listen for enjoyment, not so much. And I bet I rode that horse for 5 or 6 years easily, and it was a tough time, because that's what I was doing. I really didn't have a large variety of different type of events that I was doing at the time, and that would have been probably about 3 or 4 years after after 2003 is when I ended the bar. So there's 3 or 4 years between the bar and that was, the buildup of just doing weddings every week. And then you're like, yeah, this sucks. I hate that song.
So, but so that meant to you the opposite, that stopping listening to music helped you.
I listened to talk radio. There were probably 3 years where I didn't listen to any kind of music programming whatsoever. Okay. Until sometime in 2014, I was introduced to that's when I finally, everyone else was listening to streaming radio, what have you, but that's when I found a streaming station that just played a specific thing. And then I went back and I started listening to just old 70s music. Something that I didn't play whatsoever. And I would go back there and it's like, wow, I remember that song, and that song. And I think a combination for myself of going into an era that was more of a walk through my past. Those are the songs that my father played when I was a little guy. So I think that combined with moving to fewer weddings. So now I'm really doing probably, granted I don't do that many weddings, but I do a few high schools, so I'm probably closer to a 50, 60, 40, what have you. And then in the last few years, really trying to change and get into more of a mixing than just the fade in and fade out, which is really what I did most of my career. I mean, I could do a few basic things with that software that I won't name right now, but you couldn't do what you can do, what I can do today with virtual DJ 8. So those things where instead of just playing the songs, now I'm trying to use the songs and make it more of a performance thing and playing them in a different way. And early on when I was trying to do that, or even when I was dropping some Ultimix remixes of songs, and you had the crowd like, oh, I want to hear the radio version. And that's what I ran into that in that early 2000s so much that, it's like, I got this great mix from Ultimix, and people would be like, yeah, no, that sucks. I want the radio edit. And that I don't run into that as much anymore. So it's all kind of coming together to really help, where today I will throw a station on, listen to 80s, 90s, whatever, and I don't feel that hostility towards music that I did probably, around that 2005 range, somewhere in there.
Dan, Shaney? I guess I'll go next then. Or no.
Go ahead. No, Dan, go ahead.
Shaney's just happy to be here, so go ahead.
Hi, I'm just happy to be here. I'm just going to keep saying it like right in the mic.
No, I kind of do something kind of unusual, I guess, for myself. Anytime that I am leaving an event, whatever happens to be the event, I listen to something that's different than what I was playing that night. So for my weddings, while I'll play some country, it's not heavy like it was maybe a few years ago to play a lot. So a lot of times on my ride home, I'm listening to country music because it's different. It gives me something different.
Yeah, it's different. All right.
Or I'm listening to top 40. And it's weird that in some aspects that I go to both sides of that spectrum, but while I'm playing a little bit of the orders, and especially lately, it's been a lot of 90s and early 2000s, which have been kind of my, as John would put it, the money songs for the weddings. I tend to avoid those channels on Sirius just because it's like, oh man, I got done playing a bunch of that last night, or whatever. So from my standpoint, I'll listen to top 40. Don't get to play it often. I'll listen to mix shows. Again, I don't get to play them that often. And so it gives me some fun stuff. I will listen to them nonstop though if I have a school event coming up, the mix shows, because I want that inspiration. I want that idea that I didn't think of, or that goes together. I never would have thought that. So for, like you had mentioned with the fresh years, listening for inspiration, I do that usually for a couple weeks leading into a different type of event. But when I'm doing the same type of event week after week after week after week, I don't listen for fresh years. I listen for difference.
I think you it is the fresh years, exactly what you're talking about. The difference between hearing something better than helping you to go back to the stuff you have to play and feel inspired enough to even on the mic say things and be more into it, I guess would be the way. So I think you're on the same road there. Shane? Yeah, Dan? Shane, go ahead. Dan?
No.
No, go ahead, Dan.
I'm just happy to be here.
We don't want
Go
her
ahead,
to talk
Dan.
tonight. That's all
Go
she
ahead,
can say
Dan.
tonight.
No, what I was going to say was it drives my wife crazy, kind of very similar to John's, because when we're going on car trips, the station she goes to all the time anymore is the 90s station. And it's just like, can we change it? Like, please, I just got done playing that for like 3 hours. Can we change that?
So that's something Lori and I drove to the Midwest DJs Live, and we just decided I was going to just put something on the car radio there and listen to it. So we ended up streaming. We went and streamed an 80s station. And when we do the 80s hits, that's probably 30% of it is our wedding music. That you're going to hear, Mickey, and you're going to hear I Love Rock and Roll, and you're going to hear, Jesse's Girl, and a variety of different things. And I started that, and the first song was a wedding song. I'm thinking to myself, I wonder if I'm going to get sick of this station, if I'm going to, get to the point where I'm going to be like ripping the car radio out of the dash and throwing it down the Wisconsin freeway. But it wasn't that way. Things have changed and such. And I found myself instead of doing that, I'm like, okay, here comes the end of this phrase, and how would I mix out of this? I called it my MJC thought process there as I'm listening to it and thinking, ooh, I could mix that song in right here.
Once you get that, I tell people, if you really love music, don't become a DJ, because it ruins music, because you never get into the song that's playing. You're always thinking about what you normally mixed into it, what you could mix into it, or, hey, this song has the same beat as such and such. And it just, so that's good. That's good. Shaney, because someone in the chat room said 10 minutes and Shaney has only said 5 words. So please make that person happy.
I'm sorry. What is the question again?
The question is, should we allow Shaney to talk tonight? That's the question. No.
Tonight on live radio.
We'll be fielding your question. We'll be fielding your questions.
This show got a whole nother rating right now.
Bow, 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 bow.
Callers, it's Chi-Town Shaney. I'm on the radio tonight.
Oh, John, can I share my picture from last week, or is that going to be shared off air?
Either one, I don't think.
Because I don't want to make people mad.
No.
Wait, am I done?
No, we didn't get that picture.
I'm so confused. I know I'm still on
No,
medications from last week, but I'm really confused what's happening.
You had this awesome video out last week that nobody but me saw, apparently.
My video?
Your video. So I made you a new logo.
Yep.
Oh, God. What's the... most down, Shaney.
No, for those of you who don't know, Shaney did a thing at the Mobile Beat with Bose, and they did an incredible video for her. So go to her Facebook page and check it out. It's really, really good.
It's on my YouTube too.
Or YouTube, yeah, whichever
or
it was.
If you're Latino, you can go to the Bose Latino page and hear me in Spanish.
Oh, cool. Cool.
See.
Just don't go there now.
Don't go there now.
But so you could go to either my, I think it might have been on my business page. I'm not quite sure if I did.
I think that's where I caught it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's on my Shaney Burnout Productions page, or you could just go to the YouTube after this. But yeah. Thank you for the shout out. I appreciate that. What are we talking? What's going on? What's happening right now? I'm so confused.
Listen.
There's so many things happening in the chat room right now, and I
know chat room. You guys are awesome. I love you guys tonight. We're seeing people talking about CNN, and I do accept listening to talk radio as fresh ears. That absolutely is included in with that. My fresh ears is usually listening to something again like I never listened to, like Robert Johnson, King of Delta Blues. I have a whole bunch of Delta blues from like the 1940s that I listen to, and it's my thing where I'll escape from the norm by listening to that. So what do you do in the sense of listening, Shaney, that gets yourself fresh ears?
Well, I mean, because I do so many different types of events, I have to listen to everything, whether I like it or not. So, even things that I wouldn't normally listen to, like, I'm going to be honest, I don't play a lot of, when I say rock, I'm talking like rock out now. Like if anybody went to a top 100 rock billboards or anywhere else, I'm talking like the rock artists that are out now. Are not talking like the classics or even the semi-classics that, people want to hear. It's like, I don't play those at any of my events. So sometimes it's just refreshing to go to different music genres that I don't normally would play anywhere, and just kind of listen to it. And for me, just listening to it kind of jogs the brain and kind of gets the juices flowing. Like, you know what? That reminds me of this song. And if I went from this song to that song, that would be totally cool. Not that I'm going to play the rock at all, but it'll kind of just get, the juices flowing again to be like, okay, this could fit in with this. And, now that I'm, resident at this one bar that I never thought I would do, but they got me there. And so whatever, I play a lot of Latino music now, which if you would have asked me a year ago to give you the top, salsa or bachata or reggaeton or any of that stuff, I would have been like, I don't know it. Now I'm like the queen of like Latino there, to the point where people come up to me and they said, when are you spinning here again? Because we love the sets that you're doing. And it's funny because, there's a song out now that hit the top 40 chart that's got Justin Bieber in it, but it was already on the Latino chart before Justin Bieber was on it. And it's like, I already knew that because I was playing it. And now all of a sudden I'm playing, like, even the wedding that I did, I don't do weddings that often, but even the wedding I did this past weekend and the 8th grade graduation parties I did, and even the mitzvah, they're requesting that song, which is funny to me because I was already playing it for the Latino crowd.
Yep.
Like months ago when it first came out and hit the charts. So that's why things like that kind of give me those little brain flashes. Like, you know what? Maybe I should listen to the other charts I don't normally listen to, because I might even be able to cross something over and something work, because I do hot mix, when in certain times, and I might even just be able to fit a certain, little, chorus verse chorus into something that people be like, wait, I know this. Wait, she mixed out of it. Okay, let's just keep dancing because we're gonna rolly now. Just something. But for instance, like, even as much as I hate hip hop now, and I'm big on that I hate it, but I get paid to play it, so I play it. But I mix in the old school hip hop with it. So I kind of go back and forth with it to make my own sanity, and because that's what I have to play. So, and I go and I, check out other DJs if I can, or go on YouTube, or, ask people, ask my mentors, hey guys, like what, if you were about to do a top 40 set, and I'm not talking EDM, and I'm not talking club, and I'm not talking this, just radio top 40, give me like your hottest 5 tracks. And it probably is not even what I have, but telling me that, I might be able to then kind of refresh something for myself and go into it. Now, when I'm in the car by myself or driving something that's not work, I listen to my music, like my own stuff that I want to listen to.
I just want to say that all your Snapchats are hip hop.
Are they? I'm going to change that this week. Well, are they?
All of them where you're driving in the car and listening.
Like old school or new school?
No. Like, I would say I'm almost hip hop crossover top 40 hip hop.
Okay, well, Snapchat. Okay,
like,
starting
like
tomorrow,
on the level of like Rolly.
Snapchat. Okay,
on the level of like Rolly.
No. Okay, so I'm going to change it. Anyone who follows me on Snapchat, I'm changing it starting tomorrow. Okay, because I'm back out of the house starting tomorrow. So that's it. That challenge accepted. But it's like, to kind of refresh myself, I'll talk to other DJs and be like, hey, what's your top 5 here? Or hey, you got a packed dance floor. It's like 11 o'clock. You've been rocking them since this time. What would you do? Just to kind of get fresher ideas. And I'm not saying I'm ganking their ideas or their songs, but I might, and I'll bite it, and I am. But it's cool.
Does she write them down in order? And
can I explain gank?
Gank. Because that's like a '90s word. I got
biting.
You got gank.
I'm biting. How about if I'm biting it?
The old break dance.
I'll bite it. What if I bite it?
Can I just say I'm glad they're doing it and not?
I'm just happy to be here.
But here's my thing. I'm just happy to be here. But here's my thing also, and I'm going to keep it 100. I had somebody ask me if he could shadow an event that I was doing. He was an up-and-coming DJ. And of course I said yes. And then I noticed he was like literally writing down like my whole entire playlist. And at first, like, I was like, okay, dude, are you seriously like ganking like my whole playlist? Then I thought about it and was like, you know what, boo-boo, you could take my whole playlist, because guess what? You're not going to play it and you're not gonna be able to mix it. You're not gonna be able to vibe with it the way I do with this crowd. And if you're gonna take that whole playlist and think that the next event you're doing it's gonna work for them, then iceberg straight ahead. Like, so, that's why when people are like, well, I don't want to tell them like what my favorite songs are or I'm this and that. To me, it doesn't matter. Talk to people, look online, on the different genres of like, hey, I don't normally listen to country. Okay. I'm not MJ, but I'll listen to country for like 5 minutes.
Ooh.
2 minutes.
That's not even enough to get depressed. I mean, you have to be fully depressed.
1 minute.
Oh, gosh.
1 minute.
Country. All I have to do is see it pop up on the screen on Spotify with a country person's name. How can I erase this off my screen? No, sorry.
Okay, well, all right. So screw the country for MJ. But my whole thing is, I think if people just listen to different genres that they don't normally, and back to me, back in the car when I'm not listening to hip hop, when I'm headed to gigs, I will make sure I'm on a station that I need to be on to hear like what the, like if I'm headed to like a school party, I'll listen to like,
I do the same thing.
Kiss FM or something. Yeah. If I'm headed to the club, I might hear, see who's mixing on the EDM channel and, and be like, let me Shazam on that one. That one's hot. That one's hot. Just to kind of keep my head in the game as much as I want to listen to my other music or some Chicago house. I know I'm not gonna be playing Chicago house on, the kids' party. I mean, unless their parents are straight, like Chicago house and I'm in the wild hundreds, but like I do that on purpose. I want to just, get focused and be like, oh my God, maybe a song just dropped yesterday and I really didn't even know about it. And all of a sudden I'm hearing, on XM radio, like, the hottest song, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, nobody told me about this one. Okay. And that did happen to me. It happened to me, 2 weeks ago with actually one of the hip hop songs. I had to grab my phone and check it out. And at that point it was only, I forgot what song it was only on like YouTube. And then it finally came out the week after on like some of the download mix down, legal ones that I use. And I was like, oh, that's the song. And then of course I listened to it and made this face, but it was like the hottest song that the kids all knew. And as soon as it dropped legally, then I was like, and download and try to mix it in somewhere. So it's like, you just gotta, sometimes take a break, take a breather, get away from music if you have to for a couple of days and, watch a stupid movie or go for a walk or make some food, and then get back to it and refresh yourself.
You just skipped over the next 5 things on the list.
I didn't even look at the list. I'm not gonna lie.
You really didn't look at all that work I did.
I breezed through it. You have to understand. I'm still sick, but I was sick like the whole entire week. Sick.
It's good sick reading music notes. No, kidding. Okay, so my 2 notes for that: listening to music you don't normally listen to. It helps with inspiration because I really believe it does. It keeps things fresh, and also it expands your musical knowledge. Is one of my things that I think that it's as a DJ, no matter if you only spin weddings or you only spin house or you only spin country, you only spin polka, it's always good to expand because you might get that one gig. And if you have that expansion on that, it helps. Second thing on my list was listen through someone else's ears. And this is something that I've actually had to push other DJs to do because they're so boisterous that they want to jump up and correct someone. Stand next to someone who does not do what you do for a living, whether it be at a club, at a party, a festival. Listen to them talk about music. Don't let them know you're a DJ, and just listen to what they have to say about the songs that are being played, whether it's on the radio, whether it's at a party with the DJ or at some sort of summer festival where the music's just in the background. Listen to someone who doesn't do what you do and just hear their opinion where they're not afraid of offending a DJ or offending who's your job. What experience have you guys had with that? Anything?
I think this is an area that I actually, when I got the record player or the turntable in here, and I had my dad come over and we're listening to some older tracks, and it really that was really kind of a cool thing is to be listening with him, and first off seeing the level of I don't want to call it appreciation, but enjoyment. First off, of being able to hear some of the old classic tunes off vinyl and hearing it on a really good sound system, which sounded like CD to me, but that's okay. And then to hear the story a little bit behind some of the songs, and I'll even kind of connect that with what Mike Walter has been doing with his behind the scenes or behind the music, this day in music. Sometimes having that little backstory on some songs will help you. It just makes it seem like the song is more is fresh to you, even though it's the same song. But now I have a little backstory to it, and you have a different appreciation for the music. So I think that listening with someone and not really paying attention to the song per se itself, but watching their reaction and having them talk about what that song, the feelings and emotions that it evokes in them, helps us to understand and say, wait a second, I always took that song as being, this, having this reaction to a crowd, but that makes sense that some people in this crowd are going to react to it this way, and I can maybe use it differently, or I can maybe drop it in a place that I didn't even think about dropping it in before. Just, it is definitely a cool idea.
Anyone else? No? Okay. You don't have to.
They're waiting for you, Dan.
No, we don't have to, If you don't have any...
I don't really get out too much to where I'm around people that
Okay, how about in school? Do you hear the kids talk about songs in school?
No.
So you don't pay attention to your kids. Great teacher. No, I'm kidding. I kid. Them are jokes. Everybody's tired. Nobody's jumping at things. If not, I'll move on, Shani. If not,
no. I mean, John kind of hit it, but
okay,
no problem.
My two comments on this are is the main thing is that enthusiasm is contagious, and you can catch a spark from someone else being excited about a song sometimes.
Okay, I'm going to be a really mobile entertainer right now. Hold on one second. Hey, I'm doing a live broadcast right now. Can I call you back? You're actually live talking to me right now. Can I call you back in 5 minutes? Okay, bye.
Oh, wow. She and for those of you watching, she didn't mobile entertain it until she said, I'll call you back in 5 minutes. There is no way in HE double toothpick she's going to call back in 5 minutes. So she just mobile entertained that where, I'll call you back. The contract's in the mail. It'll be right to you.
What am I going to say? I'll call you back in an hour?
Well,
that's when I send the text message and be like, oh, are you still awake? Don't you go? What time is it? I mean, literally, what time is it? 9:30 my time.
Yeah, 9:30. Yep, 9:30.
And my client is calling me at 9:30 on a Monday night. Come on, man.
You should have given him the boop and hey, Felicia.
But you see how I was like, hello.
Yeah. Exactly. All of a sudden, our ratings jumped up once again as she puts on the telephone answering voice.
That actually leads into the next one perfectly. It does, because the next one is one that I am a firm believer in that it helps you. And I have two examples that I'm going to give, and I'm going to let you guys run with my two examples after that. It's about seeing a live performer and how that can inspire you. Now, when I say live performer, I'm talking it could be a street performer, somebody playing the bongos on the corner, playing a guitar in the corner. It could be a national touring act. And I even throw in this list. If you live in a city or a town that has fountains that are synchronized to music or whatever, even that, something that is physically you not doing it, but something happening to in front of you. I believe that can help you stay inspired, to stay sharp and stay fresh.
I would agree, but I can't stand concerts.
I'm not a concert person either. So
I mean, yeah. I enjoy the show aspect of it. So we've gone to the community or nearby. There's a performing arts center, basically is what it is. And we've seen some different acts come in, like Blue Man Group and stuff like that. Those kind of things I like to go, and I like to see the different ways that they pull in different things. We've seen Stomp. That was the type of thing that again has me kind of pulling in a different way. Just kind of seeing how they use the different elements. So from that side, absolutely. Seeing a live performance in the instance of, I'm hearing them on the radio, now I'm seeing them live.
See, I think as MJ, when you referred to the street performer, getting away from the music entertainment world and watching how the lighting is used at a, this event or
thought of that. Yeah.
There's just so many entertainment, watching a comedian. I get much of my kind of a little MC and the things there, the ideas from watching comedians and how they work a crowd, how they'll focus and draw attention to something, or they'll see something with a person and use it successfully and not embarrassingly with that person. I mean, there's just so many little things that you can pick up. Does that help with burnout? At times, I think it actually doesn't. And the reason I'm going to say it is because there'll be times, or going back to even when we were talking about listening to music to get new ideas, there's times where you get all these great ideas. Oh my God, I got this great skit or routine that I'd love to be doing. This would go over at this wedding. And then when these opportunities, it would go here, but for some reason it doesn't happen. Whether the bride doesn't want, we don't want any of that to happen at our wedding. Or, I've got these awesome new songs that should kick butt on the dance floor. And you go and you drop one of them and it's like, oh. It's like, well, that was just, and it almost becomes more frustrating. It's like, you know what? You people suck. I'm going home. I'm out of here. So it's just a weird thing. Yes, it can be inspirational, and at times it can be frustration.
See, in the inspiration, before I'm gonna let you guys can jump in after this, but when I say inspiration, it also I'm saying it also can at times, doesn't have to be inspirational, but recharging your batteries too. So that's all part of this.
Yeah, I mean, if I do anything to kind of, even if it's a concert, it's not for me for inspiration. It's more to me to just step away from what I'm doing, especially if I have, weekend upon weekend upon weekend of just craziness. And I need to just take a break and recharge and do that. I'm not going to a music concert, or I'm not going out, or I'm not going to a movie, or, anything to kind of get inspiration. Because here's the thing, when the music concerts that I do go to, first of all, they have to be during the week. If I go to a concert, because they can't, for me, I'm working like every single weekend, so they can't be weekends. And most of the concerts I do go to aren't even in the music that I would normally play on a party or anything like that. I don't go to, I'm not going to a top 40 concert. That's just not.
And when she goes to a concert, she live Snapchats us live here on the show. For those of you who missed that show,
look, it was a Monday, and I wanted to let everybody know that I was healthy, I wasn't sick, and I got the okay from John, and it was the revolution.
For those of you who missed the show, we're having this nice little show, and all of a sudden we comes in this your regular scheduled program's been interrupted by Shaney at a concert. He starts broadcasting the Revolution concert live on the show. It was awesome, though. It was good.
I'm here for the team, but it's all about the team for me. But and here's my thing: when I do go to like a concert, I'm more into looking at their speakers and their lighting and how the DJ booth is lit up, and I want that LED wall, and I want this. So I'm not really getting inspiration from the music. And then kind of like what John said, if I'm going to see like a comedy show or I'm going to see a live performer, I kind of just want to see how they are on the microphone, and how it's easy for them to just kind of work off the cuff and say this and say that. And, am I stealing their bit? No, but I kind of like to see how they're working the crowd, at times where we all know we have to work the crowd, whether we like it or not at certain times. So stuff like that. But again, like my whole thing is to recharge. I literally step away from the music completely. Like, it doesn't matter if I need like a staycation because I don't have time to like go out. So, if it's a staycation and watching like Sports Center and stupid movies and eating ice cream, or it's, going to see my friend, DJ at a club and just hang out in the booth and just have fun. And I'm not hanging out in the booth to like watch what he's doing. I'm just making fun of people. I mean, it's what I do. So if you let's see my Snapchat. Yeah, it's what I do. So, it's like, for me, I just need that recharge of, okay, I don't want to think about music. I don't want to think about the events that I have coming up. I don't want to think about clients calling me at 9:30 at night on a holiday. It's like, I don't want to think about all that. I want to just kind of recharge and not be like, well, what's the top 10 songs I need right now? Recharge, get yourself going again, and then get back to the grind and get your hustle on.
That's the next. You just hit the next two, but I want to dip into them. No, it's fine. No, that's fine because it's called a proper segue. Okay. But I want to split a little bit of what you said into two different segments. I want to split it into nothing and anything else but DJing. So one of the big things that is a big one for me And for those of you, someday again, I'll sit down and tell you about my mind and the way it works and stuff. And sensory deprivation is huge for me holding on to my sanity. And that may be in me getting in the studio here, shutting off all the lights, all the electronics, phones, everything, putting in literal earplugs and sitting on the floor for hours to let everything drain out of my head. For someone else, it could be a walk in the forest. It could be, if you don't have forest near you, maybe just a walk in the park around a lake or something. This has been proven to reduce hypertension and cardiovascular disease, the sensory deprivation. And MJ, like jail.
Well, for some people, let's face it.
For some people,
yeah, an extrovert, that would seem like a punishment.
Yeah, if it was solitary confinement, I could handle that. You could put me there for years, and I'd be like, "Wait, no, I'm
right." But I mean, also like me, MJ, I'm always on the go all the time. I'm ripping and running every single day, 24/7. So for me, like I said, a staycation to just be alone, away from everybody, I am so cool with that. So like for me too, MJ, I'm like that's beautiful. I mean, I'm sure people who are married and have kids and are very involved in their lives would love to have a night where you could just be away and do what you want to do and not, listen to that cartoon over and over again or the kid, but it's true. Like, I mean,
there's a TV show where a guy, he was talking about that. He goes, I used to like silence. He goes, I'd like to hear anything. Now all there is Doc McStuffins. There is nothing but Doc McStuffins. For those of your parents, that's a kid show. So, but yeah. Nothing is great. Dan, do you ever, you are a parent and a teacher and all of this. Do you get that very often? I mean, is that something that even attracts you?
The ability to have silence or?
Yeah, because some people don't like it. Some people need people around them.
When I don't have an event and when I don't have things going on with my kids, because I'm going so often, I get that. And that initial time, suddenly I go, what's going on? Like, what do I do? What can I do? I need to do something. Like it's almost like this is unnatural. I've got to fix this. I've got to find something to do. And I get almost bored with it when I purposely make the effort. So for example, I took my son camping about 2 months ago now. And when we did, like, there was some downtime where it was just like the middle of the night, woke up, everybody was kind of quiet. Cabin was quiet. And I just went, okay, this is cool. And so I guess the difference is when I purposely make the effort, it's enjoyable. When it catches up on me and it just happens, I can't stand it.
Nice dynamic. That's interesting. Yeah.
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 No, it's true. I can't, like, my staycation, I can't last more than 2 days if I were to do that. I just personally can't. But that's what I need to just then recharge. Like, because if anybody knows my lifestyle and see my Snapchats and everything, I'm 24/7 on the go. I have like 17 different jobs. Like, I'm always working. I'm always running. I'm always hustling. I'm always making money. So if somebody said to me, you have 24 hours to yourself, they wouldn't even finish the sentence. Like, I would be gone. I would just be like, that's all you have to say to me. And because, like, somebody said, like, working on stuff, that's my normal life. Like, I work out every single day. So no, I wouldn't work out that day. So a lot of people that are saying, like, they would do this, do that. That's what I do every day. So literally my downtime would just be, like MJ said, like, I'm fine with chilling and doing absolutely nothing and sleeping on and off and have no alarm set and not look at the phone and not deal with a client at 9:30 at night and not doing anything and not looking up music and not worrying about the schedule I got to put together for tomorrow and the party's coming up. And I bet you I'll be good the next day instead of being more stressed out the next day. So you got to do what's best for you, but also for those people that are in relationships and are married and have kids and have other stuff going on, families, things like that, you also have to find that happy medium where if you go to do that, you have to explain it. to your family while you're doing it. You can't just be like, deuces, I'm out and headed to the strip club, woo, make it rain. Like you can't, like you just can't do that. You have to explain like, honey, like if you could just watch the kids for, I know you love it, you're the mom of it, but like you can't just do it. And that's why a lot of people are saying, well, my relationship didn't work because I'm a DJ, because I'm this. No, like it's communication. So you have to then say like, you could either chill with me, but not talk in my ear. You can like read your magazines and do whatever, or give me my, my man time or my woman time and just let me do whatever I want to do, because I bet you tomorrow I'll have the biggest smile on my face and I'll be so happy to see you and I won't be negative Nancy the way I am right now. So just let me be, but it's communication. Like it literally is communication, or everything in your life, including personal and work, will fall apart. Trust me. Okay. Dr. Shaney is done.
Tonight's show is sponsored by Prozac.
That's one of the
I'm
things
just glad to be here.
It's one of the things I didn't put on the list was medication, because I'm going to leave that to the professionals. But yeah, the nothingness, I think, like I said, for me, the way my brain works, unless, like I said, someday we'll sit down and we'll have a show about stuff that goes on in my life and stuff I've dealt with and all the different things over the years. And there is a point where that I literally have to, or I shut down. It gets really bad for me sometimes. But the other side of that, the exact opposite. Now, Dan, this is the other side of your dynamic. I liked when you said the dynamic of both, is that something that I found that also works, doing a task that takes up 100% of your mind. Like for me, it's always been sports. If I'm on the motorcycle ripping down a trail, or on the mountain bike bouncing through the woods, or playing basketball with my friends, or playing football, you don't have time to think about, oh, should I do this, or was I creative enough at that last show? You're worried about not crashing into the tree, or or catching the ball, or whatever. So that's another thing of mine, is doing things that soak up the possibility of your mind going somewhere else. Anybody else have those types of things? Yes, I used to race motocross, Jimmy. I raced motocross and hare scrambles and had trophies for it, and actually spent 2 or 3 years announcing locally, and I still ride. I was out today for a couple hours. So anyways, go on.
I think, yeah, I mean, that was one of the things I used to, with my church, we would do a softball league in the spring and summer. And it was always kind of nice, because it was one of those things where it was actually time there. I got to play. I didn't have to coach my son play. I didn't have to go watch someone play. I got to play myself, and I got to just kind of completely, just hang out and relax and not talk about anything that was school related, that was DJ related, that was anything other than, hey, by the way, make sure guys are going to be going to second. Make sure that, so we were able to just kind of focus on that. And I loved it. And this year we had problems with the captain stepping up. And so as a result, now there's no team. And this year's been like, man, thanks. I need to find something.
Yeah.
It is having something that can soak it up. And I think the right kind of thing to soak it up. For example, one of the things that I tend to do way too often is play games on my phone. And that doesn't soak it up the right way, in the instance that it's not perceived as healthy, I guess, to some people. And so as a result, it's like, oh, you're always playing on your phone. Okay, well, yeah, because I don't have a chance to go play softball.
Mm-hmm.
So.
John, you mentioned something on the other end of the scale a couple of weeks ago about mowing your lawn and how sometimes that's therapeutic to you.
Yeah, that's something I enjoy doing, is just to go out, and the task basically, it's a simple, I don't want to say mindless, but it's a very simple. You've got a beginning, you've got a middle, and you've got an end. You can see progress as you go. There's no way you can really cheat the system. You can't zigzag. It's really a methodical time of going out there, and sometimes it's a time to think. Sometimes it's just to not think whatsoever. Just kind of a mindless walk in the woods, and 2 hours later, it's like, oh wow, I'm out of gas already. I didn't realize that.
He just keeps mowing the same patch over and over again. But it felt good though. It's just.
But I mean, I get it. Like, there's those little things. I mean, if anyone sees my Snapchats, like, I love to barbecue. I learned it from my dad, and I won't let anyone near my grill. Like, that is my grill. I don't care how many guys are over at the house. It doesn't matter. Y'all can drop the meat off and put it over there, and I will cook it up for you. Like, if you have an issue with it, then you can go to the restaurant. Like, that is my grill. That is my grilling time. And I don't care if it's like stressful for me, because it's not stressful for me. I can have it all going at the same time, but it's just for some reason, like I said, I learned it from my dad. So for some reason, it's just like a comfort thing for me. And then just making all that food for everybody. Now, as far as like cooking inside the kitchen, if I could be at the grill all year long, I would love to do that over cooking in the kitchen, because for me, it's like a calmness of being at that grill, which sometimes it's not calm, but it is calm if you get that. Like, you don't want to burn it, but you got everything going. But I mean, like, yesterday, as sick as I was, I told everybody, just come over, bring whatever you guys want, and like, I'll grill it all up. And they're like, are you sure? Like, you've been down for the count. I'm like, but it's grill weekend. I was like,
as long as I don't cough on your food.
No, and but it's not. But and I made sure everybody knew it's not contagious. I'm not that type of sick. It's not like that. But yeah, okay, no, I'm not doing that either.
And I was tempted to make the drive when I saw it too. I was like, man, that was
right. I was cooking.
Food was going to be gone by the time I made it, but
that's why I was like, place your orders, and people were like, well, can I bring this? I'm like, bring whatever you want or eat. I'm like, I went to Jewel, I went to Costco, we bought everything. So, I mean, it's just the calmness that you get. I mean, it's not, I think doing the lawnmower mow, you have to think more, because then you will be on that one pattern going back and forth if you do it and you just realize John made a big J.
But like, you know what? If no one sees it, did it really happen? I mean, it's not like cooking. And I enjoy cooking, but cooking, you get into that, and if you screw up, generally people are going to know. You either burn something, or you've got too much salt, or you've got, I thought it was supposed to be this, and I put baking powder on it.
Seasoned salt.
And it called for garlic. My favorite one that we ever did is it called for lemon juice, and I didn't have lemon juice, and it's like, lemonade is kind of like lemon juice.
True story.
Again,
True story. When Lemon Fresh Joy came out, people were hospitalized because they said Lemon Fresh Joy with real lemons. And they were putting it in their tea and getting sick from it. True story. It was on the news.
What?
In the 80s. True story. It's got real lemons in it. Let's just put it in our tea. It's real lemons.
People were that stupid. Seriously,
oh my gosh, this world is full of people like that. And that's why I'm debating with some of the DJ classes that I think I might start doing some of them for the lazy people, for the dumb people, because as much as I hate to give them fuel for their fire, they are willing to pay. So yes, there are people out there like that. Let's go to the final one, because we're almost out of time. This one is a tough one. This one takes commitment. It really takes commitment. For me, it takes commitment. And I have done this, and it has been mostly positive. And I call it change of focus. So before, focusing was on finding a hobby, something that takes your mind off of it. This is change of focus, that where you go and hang out with friends and do things that they want to do. Don't even put your opinion in to direct it some way. Don't talk about things in your life unless you're asked about them. Listen to what they say. Let them choose the music, the place. Simply go along for the ride.
MJ, are you 100% on board with what you just said?
No, I'm saying I've done it before, where it's a commitment, where I've done that and went, okay, wherever my friend Robert or Eric or whoever, I'm with you, whatever.
Would you do it again 100% on board if somebody said to you, we're doing this?
It depends on the person. Depends on how I feel that day. If it's a day I feel I can handle it, yeah, I believe, yeah. If
the three of us were in town with you.
Yeah.
And we said, we're taking you with us.
Yeah.
And you just sit in the car, and wherever we go, you're coming with us. Dan knows what I'm getting at. Would you go?
The three of you.
Why are you hesitating?
The three of you. I could probably pull it off with one at a time, but the three of you
if one of,
would be so overpowering, because it would be like one of you would come up with an idea, then the other one could figure out a way to make it even better, and then the last one would add something to it, and it's like, I'm dead.
You're reading into it so wrong. Dan,
I'm just thinking Atlantic City. We're doing it now. It's whatever.
Dan's coming in town, and the only reason I'm getting at this because I know how much you have a strong feeling about country music and country itself. So my whole thing is, if somebody that you trusted, like the three of us or a good friend of yours said to you, this is our night, we're doing what you said we're doing, what I want to do, and I'm taking you to a country bar.
If they told me they were calling a country bar, I couldn't do it. I'd be like, no, not tonight. Okay. But if they said anything but a country bar, rock, polka,
I was trying to get you out of the element to see if you actually would.
There's limits. Like I said, I know people. It would have to be someone I would trust that would go, no, we're not going to do that, but we're just, maybe we'll go over here to this bar, or maybe we'll go to this restaurant, or whatever. Let's go to the next city. I'm like, all right, I'm along for the ride.
But we're all getting together in Atlantic City doing something. I'm not saying it's a country bar, but we're all.
As long as it's not country bar,
no.
But I'll have to do it. But I'm going to be honest with you, because Atlantic City, me being there reporting, and there's so much going on for me there. That's one of those situations where I really, really, really have to guard my brain, or I lose it. John can attest. He has seen me drop off the deep end hard. Dan might have been there too. I think. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember who all was there. It was that bad. It was just I reached my limit, and it was bad. And so it's like I have to guard myself, and that is a situation where I don't have much fuel left in the tank to handle anything. So, like I said, for me, that change of focus, certain nights, I go, this is going to be good for me. So, what about you guys? Is that something you would do?
John and I are married with kids, so that's an every event type of thing.
I was gonna think of the same, yeah.
It's like, honey, I really want to go to Best Buy today. Oh, can we come along? Okay, sure. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, so in some aspects, I mean, I say that somewhat in jest, obviously, but there is some truth behind it of when the family wants to go do something, you go along and you keep some of the comments to yourselves, because it means it's spending time with them and being there and going along. So it's a change of focus, whether it was invited or not, it's there.
I think it's how main purpose I brought up, because I all the things about trying to keep from losing it in this business, being overwhelmed by things, being burnt out. These are ways to, in my opinion, are ways to help you from being burnt out, because we know this is a business that can really turn some people bitter quick.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that where I look at this, and there's a few entertainers, and we have talked about my one friend DJ Easy Lou, who's 72 or 73 now, still spins, still has a blast, and has not become bitter in this business, and he's been DJing his whole life. And I just look at him as being kind of a person that I truly admire, because something can happen and he doesn't talk down about it. He goes, yeah, because I asked him one day, here's the perfect example. I asked him one day, I said, DJs talk smack constantly. They're constantly talking smack on each other. Did they do that back in the days before the internet? He goes, yeah. He goes, normally it was just people running their mouths, but it was always about, oh, he took my song. And I'm like, took your song? And it's like, well, you went to the same record store I did and bought the same record I did. I didn't take your song. So it's the same sort of mentality. And he has toughened through that with an extremely awesome attitude. And that's why why I felt that this was important to me, why I wrote the article when I wrote it, is to keep looking back myself and to, I'm now 30 years into the business, and I couldn't tell you how many times I said, I'm done. I'm not doing this again. But yet here I am,
No, it's true. I mean, you have to have, outlets. And it doesn't matter what your outlet is, but you have to have outlets so you don't get that burnout. Like I was saying to the guys off air, I have like 8 events this week. It's our, this is one of our busiest weeks with school graduations and end of the summer. I mean, end of school year. So it's like end of the mitzvahs for us and the wedding season and everything. So I have 8 events, and I will definitely have a day. I will take a day off as soon as that 8th event is over, and I will be MIA.
On the 9th day, Shani disappears.
I mean, I might do like one Snapchat like I did today. Like I'm alive.
Deuces.
Yeah, like there might be one Snapchat of like my shoe. Just like, but I will definitely need to do that, and I need it for my own sanity. I need it for the sanity that if I walk back in that office the next day, I will probably, somebody asks me what time it is, my head will probably spin around and I'll just yell at them, like, because I'm just so like, I need to just take it down and chill. And for me, if that's like going to work out, or if that's just watching TV or watching a stupid movie or going for a walk or us going out to a nice dinner, like I need that time. And we have to do that as DJs, as mobile entertainers, as people, anybody in the entertainment business. You have to do it, and you don't need money to do it. You could do it on no budget whatsoever, and that's why it's called a staycation. Like you could do it. You could say, kids, go here. I'm going to put in this video for you guys, and just even if it's 20 minutes to yourself. Anyone that has the families and knows that, like 20 minutes is huge. So if you could just have 20 minutes to yourself, that's like for me having a full day, to myself if I can. So, you guys just don't get that burnout. Don't get that. I hate the business now. I hate what I do. Do you really hate what you do, or do you need to find yourself again and do all the things that we've talked about and kind of have like that downtime of, all right, I need to do this. And then, okay, I don't hate the business anymore. I'm good again. Okay. So like, do what you have to do. Find something, find an outlet like we talked about.
Yeah. Good summing it up. Shani's our now final thoughts with Shani, with Bowstown Shani. So that was it. I hope you guys got it.
Yeah, thank you guys for being with us tonight and watching. If you've got any thoughts or anything, please put those in the comments down below if you're watching this after the live show, because we've been following the chat and such and had a lot of great discussion. So thank you guys very much. If you're watching us on Facebook, you can join us every Monday night at 10 o'clock Eastern on YouTube, our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/discjockeynews. That is where we are. We'll be back tomorrow night with our Tuesday shows at 9 and 10 o'clock Eastern. You can catch those again on our channel. We've got Ben Stowe and Brian Red coming back tomorrow night. Shani, Dan, MJ, thank you guys. We'll catch you tomorrow night. Good night, everyone.